The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Fish, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell and Astro, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a fun show for you guys tonight. And I actually like Juan put a different music for the countdown before the show starts. I actually like that. That was good music, so it was cool. But what's up, everybody? We have a fun show today. Chat room, we'll talk to you in a second. Let's first introduce our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell, to say hello with Astro.
Now, Mr. Ron Russell, would I become your father? Yay, everybody. This is Astro, my 7-pound rescue. He's
Astro, look at the camera.
He's poodle. He's half poodle and half terrier. Is that not the most precious baby in the world? Look at him. Look at him. He's hung too. Look how hung he is. You took after Daddy, huh? You took after not that queen over there. You took after me, right, honey?
Look how cute he is.
Look at you, so sweet. Isn't he cute?
His teeth are doing better too, you guys.
We're having a good show today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. What's up, chat room? Chat room is just starting to fill up. We want to say hi to Angela Joseph. What's up?
Hey, Angie, baby.
And Teresa Sabin is in there. She said,
Teresa.
Daddy's pimping out his son.
No, I'm not. No, never. First of all, he's fixed. And I think he's gay anyway. Because he's constantly tongue kissing me.
Yeah.
He kisses me more than Jimmy does. Would you believe it? Actually, he kisses better than Jimmy. I want to tell you all out there the truth. Astro definitely gives better kisses than Jimmy does.
Yeah, Astro kisses like 800 times a day.
Yeah, Jimmy gives you 1 or 2 and he's exhausted. You know, one of those, I have a headache.
Angela says she missed us. We missed you too, Angela. I hope everything is going well at NASA. And
what is she doing
NASA.
in NASA?
No, NASA. She works for NASA.
Oh, NASA, right?
NASA.
I thought he said NASA. I figured she went to Bermuda.
We love her. So, Angela, you're fabulous. We got a fun show today, you guys. We have one of our favorite guests, Jeff Caperton, coming back on, and he's a lot of fun always. And then we have Gary Private coming on, who was like a teen idol, and he's an actor, and he's a big musician. He's worked with everybody, and he's had a bunch of his own hit songs. So he's never been on the show before. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Teresa says she loves black on you.
I'm not wearing black. This is navy blue.
No, it's black.
No, your ass is black. This is navy blue, you dumb.
No.
Oh, I can't take it when he's colorblind. He is gone. The guy, I'm older than him.
No, look, it's black.
It looks black on camera. But
it looks black in real life,
no,
too.
No, if you go out in the sunlight, it's navy blue.
I bet it's not. Okay, we'll let you go.
You know, he's always Mary, quite contrary. Is this big fat fairy?
She says, beg your pardon.
No, what kidding. No, Jimmy has to be contraire. Everything I say, he always has to correct it or make it something else.
She's colorblind too, then.
No, actually, it really is. I thought it was black when I bought it because Fruit Loops over here next to me likes me in black. It's navy blue. You're colorblind. All he wears is pink anyway. That tells you something about how butch he is.
I like. Of
course
pink.
he does. He wears pink pumps and pink.
No, not pink pumps, but I do have pink sneakers. I have pink everything. What's up, Mike Wagner Show? Just joined us too, everybody. Mike Wagner from the Mike Wagner Show.
Mike. The best. We're the best in the West, but he's the best in the East.
Absolutely.
Right, Mike? Woo.
So we want to. Let me do some. Oh, you want to tell anybody about anything you've done this past week?
Oh, are you kidding? Look, I'm injured. I have injury in my hand, bleeding. Look at the blood, and nobody gives a shit. Look at that, all bleeding. I moved the barbecue. We bought this enormous barbecue. I mean, really, I could use it as like a roach coach wagon and feed people at the studio with it. It's so big. And I didn't like where it was, so I moved it, and there's a stone wall there, a brick wall. and I got my hand wedged between the barbecue and the brick wall. It hurt. It really hurt a lot. So the first thing I thought of was, who's giving me the horns? Somebody's got the horns out for me. Somebody's jealous, and they're sending me the evil eye. And whoever that person is or persons, I'm powerful. And I'm sending the evil eye back to you. So whatever you wish on to me, I wish back to thee. So mote it be. No, really, I believe in the evil eye. You know, you go on Facebook and you tell people, I bought a new car. Suddenly the car crashes. You tell them, I just had a great haircut and your hair falls out. Or you tell them, my sex last night was great and it falls off. But anyway.
That's funny.
You got to be careful of people's evilness. People really don't like to wish you well because they want that wellness for themselves, not you. On the other hand, you have people like me and Jimmy and Eileen Shapiro and quite a few other people. Sue Wong, my darling friend, who only wish positive to everybody. Because
like Claudia and Teresa.
I'm speaking rudeness.
I know.
Anyway, we Italians believe che spude in cielo ritornare in faccia. If you spit in the wind, it returns in your face. So if you only send out positive vibes, you're only going to get positive vibes back. Every now and then you got an evil mother who sends you the evil eye. But you know what? If you're strong and you do this, falla corno, it goes back to them.
So Diane just joined us too. What's up, Diane? I hope you had fun on the cruise this weekend. We missed you at the Young Zuck birthday party, which, by the way,
Diane, I heard you got drunk and you did a striptease. You were naked. And then what you did with that scotch bottle, everybody was just amazed. I start rumors.
We missed you at Young Zuck's party, you guys, Saturday night. We
Yes.
went to Young Zuck's surprise 23 birthday party. He'll be coming on the show soon when his album comes out, but we had a really nice time.
And I said to Jimmy, they're all kids. They're like 23 and 24. They're going to kick us old bags out. What the hell they wanted? Jimmy reps him. So, of course, you go when your client is having a party. And I went there reluctantly thinking, oh, my God, they're all children. Could be my grandchildren, some of my great-grandchildren. And wrong. They loved me. I sat there like giving, court. What do you call it?
Holding court.
Holding court. And like a raconteur, I was telling them stories about old Hollywood and movies and things that I did and things that famous movie stars did and all the crazy crap that went on in the 50s and 60s and 70s. They loved me. One fella, James, said, listen, my parents are coming in from New Jersey in a few weeks and we're going out to dinner. Would you kindly come with us? My parents will love you. I guess the kid doesn't have anything to talk to his parents about. So he's bringing along the old bag. So the old bag entertains them with stories of Hollywood.
We had a good time.
Well, no, I'm speaking when the mouth does this.
Doesn't matter because otherwise I would never get to speak.
You never get to speak anyway. I don't allow it. But when the mouth shuts, honey bun.
They said the pictures though showed all of that. They said
What?
the pictures showed all that.
What pictures?
The pictures from the party.
The kids loved us. They hugged me. These guys were wonderful. And the girls were just beautiful little girls. I mean, there's one girl there who's gorgeous. She's coming on our show. Most beautiful. I called her Diana Ross because we almost had an accident with her going to the party. She was coming up the hill, the Hollywood Hills. The lanes are that wide. And we were going down and she almost hit us. And I yelled out, oh, look, it's fucking Diana Ross. But it wasn't. She looked like Diana Ross. She had that big afro, long afro hair like Diana Ross used to. But anyway, I had met her at another party, and I loved this girl. So I really got to know her and found out she was asexual. I said, are you kidding? A beautiful piece like you and you're asexual? Some guy is getting screwed out of a deal. She said, I can't help it. I said, would you come on our show and talk about it? Because this is a subject I think most of our audience will enjoy hearing. I'm sure there are people out there that have children who claim to be asexual. Jimmy's asexual.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He starts balling men with the letter A in the alphabet and then goes down the line. B. Claudia.
B. Claudia just joined us. She just joined us.
I love my B. Claudia. B. Claudia is one of the kindest, sweetest, very intelligent, lovely, lovely lady in Germany. Whenever I get to Germany, B, I'm taking you out to dinner. You know what I want? Sauerbraten. You know how I love sauerbraten. Somebody gave me the recipe and I screwed it up. Anyway, I need real German sauerbraten. It is so friggin' delicious. I used to get it in Fort Lauderdale when I lived in Florida. Remember that German restaurant?
Yes.
I love that German restaurant. And it was a guy from Germany that did the cooking. He was his own chef. But those days are gone. Now you go to an Italian restaurant and they put jalapeno in the sauce because people are Mexican or Hispanic. And Hispanic people don't like Italian sauce because it's not hot enough. So now the chefs are adding jalapeno to satisfy their palates of the Hispanic people. Only
Ron
because,
can't stand that.
California is like 80% Hispanic.
Every
now.
restaurant you go to actually serves jalapeno sauce. It doesn't matter what kind of restaurant it is; they serve jalapeno sauce.
Well, I believe in about 25 years from now, California will be called North Mexico because that's what the Mexicans like calling it now. They call it Northern Mexico. And if ever California does decide to break away from the United States, then it will be a what do you call it, of Mexico? What do they call them? Republic of Mexico. Anyway, I like Mexican people, and I'm not being condescending.
You don't really like Mexican food though that much.
Oh, I don't like Well, I love tacos with a lot of sour cream, but I don't really like the fishy stuff. And a lot of it is really hot, and I'm not used to eating.
Yeah, we don't like the
hot food. It does my stomach yells.
I just like Chipotle.
No, my stomach yells Italian food. I live Italian. I cook Italian. I am Italian, born in America, but I'm an Italiano.
Oh, Dave Hughes just joined us too.
Hey,
Dave, we don't
Davey.
have any naked women coming on today.
No naked women, but we got a couple of men. So if you want to be a switch hitter, maybe they'll unzip their pants and give you a charge. But anyway,
I doubt it.
We all in this country forget that we once were immigrants. Not us, but our parents. And it's time that we remember that we are not Americans. We are Americans through birth of citizenship. But all of us, our genes, skin, blood, and looks are of other countries. And if I were born in Italy, I would be Italian completely, an Italian citizen. But since I'm born in America, I'm an Italo-Americano. I'm proud of it, baby. Anyway, I can't wait for our guest to come on. Where is he?
It's going to be fun. He'll be here in a minute.
Well, what is he doing? Roller skating?
No, I don't know what he's doing. It's not supposed to come on yet. It's not time.
Oh, it's not time yet.
It's not time. Usually you talk. So what's up, chat room? Everybody, I hope everybody's
Look at my
doing good.
injury. Look, you don't give a shit about my injury. Look at those knuckles. Look at the blood. The fingers, the guts are hanging out of my fingers. Look, broken fingers. I need surgery. Look at those knuckles, Jimmy. Oh my
So we
God.
finished Hacks, you guys. It already went through the whole season. It went way too fast. We loved it. I just finished Stranger Things season 3 now, so I'm just getting ready to start season 4.
But what we're crazy about is Asian Empire.
Oh, Bling Empire.
Bling Empire.
Yeah, Bling Empire, you
It
guys.
is the most, everything I was taught as a child, they do. That's wrong. Showing off, buying, flaunting, labels. They're so totally, completely caught up with Gucci and Versace and Balenciaga and every other designer. That's all they wear. That's all they buy. They go into Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and it's a cute little ring, and it's only $30,000, so they buy it. They
went to a party, and everybody at the table, like the lady who hosted the party, gave everybody a Rolex.
a Rolex for coming to the party.
Because she's like a billionaire.
They just spend money like it was nothing. It's really sickening to watch because you think of so many people living in the streets in tents.
B. Claudia just sent you a recipe for whatever it is you food.
You sent me one before, and I don't think I have where'd you send it to?
She sent it to me. I got it.
Oh, Jimmy got it.
She just sent it again.
Okay,
just
you
now.
know what? I'm going to make it on the weekend, on Saturday.
And we'll see how it goes.
And then I'll let you know on what kind of meat. You have to get a special kind of meat. Don't you have to let the meat ferment or something?
Oh, I don't know. They said, let's see Ron's watch, please.
Oh, it's just my diamond watch, my black face.
That's all.
My everyday.
His everyday. So what's up, everybody? We're going to bring on our first guest. His name is Jeff Caperton, and I think he's in Texas. He lives in Texas, so he's probably in Texas. So go ahead, Juan, and let him in. Hey, what's up?
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
We are good. Are you in Texas? Yes, you are.
Yeah. I'm at my office in Houston.
And is that an Emmy behind you?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Is it a real?
Very old one?
Is it a real one?
Yeah, it's from back when I was in news. I was in news many years ago with ABC, and that's something I won back in 19, blah, 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 something or other.
I'm here.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and super cool Jeff Caperton. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey
Now-
guys,
What, am I allowed to?
Thanks
say-
for having me back.
He already knows you, so go ahead. You can say so. First of all,
How
they
you
Yeah, I
look
know
doing?
you next time.
How are you doing? I know you're
I'm
in the
doing great, Ron. It's good
I
to
know
see
you're
you.
in the witness protection program.
Yes,
but now
I
you-
am.
Now you're out. Now they know you're in Texas, so you're gone.
Well, I said I was in Texas. That doesn't,
No, you
the
should.
internet. I could be anywhere.
When you're in witness
I could be standing
protection,
right behind you right now.
you should never tell people where you are.
they have a the chat room says they love your shirt. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Oh, hey everybody in the chat room. Hey y'all.
And from now on, we need you need to play up that.
Now wait a
Amy
minute.
thing.
You're from Brooklyn. What's with the hey all?
He's not from Brooklyn.
I'm not from
Sheep's
Brooklyn.
Head
No, that's the
Bed.
second guest.
Oh, I got the wrong guest.
Yeah,
What's
you
this?
got the
What's
wrong
this
one,
one's
Ron.
name?
This
Oh, this is Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. That's why I'm doing these jokes, because the second guy is a Ginzo from Brooklyn,
Oh,
from my
okay.
neighborhood.
He's the witness protection guy.
Yeah, I didn't read your name, Jeff. I'm sorry. But anyway,
That's
you're
okay,
very
Ron, that's
handsome.
okay.
You're very handsome with a nice smile. You married?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So ladies, give it up. Change channel.
But hey, thanks guys for having me back on. I appreciate it. The last time I was on, we had talked on the phone, but we had never met. But now we've partied together. We've had wine, food, and song together.
Ron won't
Absolutely.
even remember. So he was at the For Your Stars Melrose at the Fashion House.
Yeah.
Red carpet event. He was there
Valentine's Day,
with his
yeah.
for Valentine's Day. Who was your friend? Well, I know you were with
My friend Tyler Gallant showed up,
yeah, Tyler
and
and,
my friend Blake Leon showed
Blake.
up.
That's it. Blake Leon.
So what? I'm not supposed to remember? You want me to be like senile?
No, you're supposed to remember.
Of course I remember. You know what? When you live together for so many years, they start to think thoughts for you. That's why any marriage after 10 years, get rid of it. And go on to a new one, start fresh. Because after 10 years, they think they own you, they know everything about you, you're stupid, they follow you around saying you left the water on, things like
You
that.
did leave the water
Well,
on.
that's
I'm
Charles
a
will
week away from my 15th anniversary, so I guess I got to make a decision.
get rid of whoever it is. After 10 years, get rid of her.
Okay,
But-
so hold on though. I
What?
want to go back because we need to start using that in your publicity. Emmy Award winning Jeff Caperton, because that makes a big deal. That makes a difference.
Actually
for
nominated
people.
twice. We got nominated a few years ago for a Christmas special we did called The Heart of Christmas, but it was for Best Original Song, so it wasn't really anything I did, but
But
Still
that one
my
being
show.
a newscaster, and I see an NCIS hat. Is that from when you did an episode of NCIS?
yeah, I was actually on the first 2 seasons of NCIS New Orleans. I was a semi-reoccurring featured something. I forget what they called it. But anyway, I was an ATF agent named Garrett. And I actually had to leave the show at the end of the second season because we were going to Cleveland to shoot Dog Eat Dog. And I wasn't going to be there for the last couple of episodes. And I was hoping they'd write me out with some big thing where maybe I got killed and the whole NCIS guys, try to avenge my death or something. But
They just made
no,
you
just never
disappear.
saw Garrett again. Garrett was just gone,
I fucking love it. They love your smile too, by the way. Be
Yeah,
quiet.
thank you. Thank you.
You have nice teeth. Are they yours or dentures?
No, they're mine, unfortunately. Yeah, they
You
probably
take,
do the
you
work
take
right now.
good care of your teeth, right?
I try, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you have them. People that don't take care of their teeth
Oh.
wind up with dentures. But anyway, you're handsome, you're good looking, you're taken.
you.
So ladies out there, turn your vibrators off and relax.
So you guys, you can follow Jeff on Instagram. He's at Jeff Caperton, JeffCaperton.
Right, no space.
And no space. And he does everything, you guys. He's been he produces. Do you direct? I know you write some. You produce.
I
you
did. I've done
act.
some second unit work. I haven't actually directed anything, but I've done some second unit directing just for helping friends and doing different things. But yeah, I mostly produce. I do act a little bit, and I do stunt work. So I do falls and
Stunt
driving
work.
and fights and things like that. So
Yeah, you guys got to watch his Instagram because he's
Yes,
got some good
it's-
stunt
yeah,
shit
but
out
stunt-
there.
Stunt work is really dangerous. I knew Burt Reynolds pretty well,
mhm.
right, Jimmy? And Burt and I,
Mhm.
in private, would talk, and I said, Burt, what's not broken on you? And he said, my dick. And I said, that's a good thing. He said, you bet it is. Otherwise,
it
a lot
wasn't
of
broken.
women,
It was just tired. Yeah.
No, he said, you bet it is, or a lot of women are going to be disappointed. No, Bert had a great sense of humor, but really,
Yeah.
Bert broke practically every bone in his body.
Yeah.
He was always in pain, always taking pain pills.
Yeah. My business partner, Mark Berman, knew Hal Needham very well. His family knew them back in the day. Of course, he was Bert's best friend and lived with him for a long time. And I got a lot of those stories from them back in the day. But, I've gotten hurt doing a lot of stupid things. I've yet to get injured doing a stunt. So fingers crossed.
Isn't that funny? You get hurt on other things and not in the stunts.
I get hurt bending over to pick up a pencil. I pulled my neck out the other day, rolling over and adjusting my pillow in bed. So, I mean,
You sound like Jimmy.
I have all kinds. I do all those little aches and pain things too.
Jimmy starts.
Yeah, so I'm walking funny. Everybody's asking me why I'm walking funny, and I have to tell them, I jumped off a 10-story building and landed on a car or whatever. Yeah, but I rolled over in bed wrong.
Actually, somebody B wrote that you won something in cons for Directors Fortnight at 2016. What was that?
We did. My business partner, Mark Berman, out there in Los Angeles, and I and some others produced a movie called Dog Eat Dog, starring Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe, and it was directed by Paul Schrader, from Taxi Driver and Raging Bull and all that. And we had bought the book and developed it into a movie. It's a book by Eddie Bunker called Dog Eat Dog. And we finally got that sucker made. In fact, that's the movie I had to leave NCIS New Orleans to go.
Yes, got that Cleveland. Now.
Yeah, and I had to go out there, and got into cons. It won the Directors Fortnight, and got a lot of really great critical acclaim. Didn't make a lot of money, but it got great critical acclaim.
Yeah, but that brings you to a lot of money.
Can we see it?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that big check, but
Can people see it? Is it available on Amazon Prime or anywhere?
We had what's called a limited theatrical release. I think it was released in 240 some odd theaters nationwide, which is nothing. But it was only in theaters for 8 days, and they ended up on Netflix. It was on Netflix for a while. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but I know it's still out there on some of the streaming deals.
I'm familiar with the title.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I can't place it, but Dog Eat Dog. Yeah, I'm familiar with the title.
How was William Dafoe? I mean, I think that's awesome. Yeah. How is William Dafoe? I think he's freaking awesme. He's one of the greatest actors ever.
He is a sweetheart.
I love William. In fact, for the 2 years after we finished that movie, William texted me happy birthday on my birthday for 2 years.
How cool is that?
I was having lunch in Greenwich Village at a Sidewalk Cafe, and he was walking down on the street, and he waited for the traffic light, and I yelled out, "Hey, William, hello," whatever. And he turned around and he looked at me, and he do I know you? He came over to the iron railing where we were seated, and he began talking to me, and he just thought I was funny as all hell because I said some crazy stuff, and he really enjoyed himself, and he said to me, "Good luck." I said, "Thank you very much." He
was the nicest guy. He took our entire cast and crew to a Cleveland baseball game, bought the tickets, hot dog, beer, paid for the bus, everything.
He's a regular Joe.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Really, I would do anything he called and asked me to do. I would go do.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Boondock Saints? Because I love Boondock Saints, and he's brilliant in Boondock Saints.
I have, but it's been so freaking long ago, I don't hardly remember anything about it.
Oh, everybody needs to go see Boondock Saints. It's freaking awesome. It's got Norman Reedus and Kilpatrick, whatever his name is, something Kilpatrick. The guy he always does the movies with. Anyway, it's a phenomenal movie, so everybody should see it. So let me brag a little bit for you.
Oh, please.
Actually, I think the last time we had you on, first of all, we were talking about Poker Run. And when that's a John Schneider movie, and we have had John Schneider on the show before, and we've had Mindy Robinson on the show before. So you were on there doing that. You were in the Mark Wahlberg film Deepwater Horizon. Some of the TV shows you have seen Jeff on: Queen of the South, Quarry, Scream the series, Murder Made Me Famous, 11/22/63. I love that. The First, NCIS New Orleans, Second Chance, Who's the Boss, Mr. Belvedere, Remington Steele, Moonlighting.
Just dated me.
I know, and I did that on purpose. So like who would have ever thought? Because you don't look a day over 35 or 40, but who would have thought? Because Who's the Boss and Mr. Belvedere and Remington Steele, that shit's 40 years old.
That's from the 80s, yeah. I actually moved to LA when I was 19 in 1985. I worked for a TV station here in Houston, and I got offered a network job at 19 years old. And so I packed up my little car and moved my butt to LA. And I worked on, back then, ABC Television Center was over in Silver Lake. It wasn't in Burbank. It was over on Prospect Avenue. And so we worked out of the Prospect Avenue lot, and they shot so much stuff on there, The Love Boat and, all these different shows. And I started dating this girl that worked for 20th Century Fox in their casting. And got me a few just little on my days off and stuff, some little walk-on parts and different things in those. There's very small little parts in those things.
So I understand you're doing something with us. We're not going to talk about it, but I just want you to. I want
looking
you
good though. I love it. The idea.
I want you to know that I'm happy that you're on our team because of because of who you are, and your credits are good, and I feel the script is good and it will make a fine movie. A movie we need today. We need to laugh. We need a feel-good movie. We have too much darkness, too much murder, too many guns, too many shootings, too much blood. I don't think it's healthy for the young people or for most people to watch. So
yeah, no, I love the script. It's funny. It's a very kind of a dark, subtle comedy, but I think with the right cast, they can really bring the comedy out in it and make it amazing.
Well, in selecting the cast, I selected a director who is Italian, married to a Jewish guy. So we need that in the storyline, as you know.
Yeah.
And Lainey Kazan is considering it. She's
love Lainey.
I love Lainey. She wants to do it, and we have a lot of other. And then a friend of yours who we like very much and know may play it. So I really can't give names out because we cannot do it until we contact them. But it sounds good. I'm excited. I want to get it rolling, and I think we could make a good film.
Because you put the name on the fucking. You can tell people the name.
The name of it is A Gift of Magic. Lainey Kazan is a bookie, and I play her husband, a mafioso, and the two of us get involved with a crazy Chinese, crazy Chinese lady who gives Lainey a gift, and from there the story unfolds. It's full of humor.
Yeah, you find the benefits and the curse of getting a gift.
It's true. It's all about Brooklyn people. Mm-hmm. My characters they speak Brooklynese. They're all very real, good, loving people. You will love everybody in it.
Yeah.
I hope it works. We'll see. But
it's got a lot of different ethnic things in it, but it really shows the culture of multiple different ethnicities that all lived in that area, and in
1943.
Yeah, regular folks, and as well as those who were,
how everyone got along.
In the family business.
No one, in the family business, right? Everyone got along back in the 1940s when I was a kid. I never remember my parents ever saying anything about black people, Spanish people, French people, German people. Never. Mm-hmm. My mother would say the lady down the block, or the woman, the fishwife, or the big mouth, or those kind of nicknames, but never anything pertaining to.
It wasn't race related.
There was no such thing as race back in those days. Everybody was all immigrants. American people wanting to be American.
It was a little different in the South, but up there, yeah.
What is that?
He said it was a little different.
I grew up in the South. Well, no, different down here.
Don't forget. Don't forget. I was born in Brooklyn, so I'm a real Northerner, and I only write what I'm a street writer. I write what I remember. And I think it's nostalgia, and it's wholesome, and
we'll have updates for you guys. And
it gets a message.
Yeah, I loved the script when I read it.
Hey, not talking about my script anymore. Talking about things in general. I think film should get messages out to the young people that manners count, elderly count, young people count, babies count, pregnant women count. Get up in the subway, give a seat to somebody. Things like that should be brought out in films today. I think that the films today only bring out the anger, hatred, prejudice, and want to destroy, kill, maim, and make blood all over the place. I mean, I'm in horror movies, and I try not to be in them where they're bloody.
Yeah.
I turned down
speckles of blood here and there.
You don't do horror movies, though.
I turned those scripts down. Do you?
You don't do horror movies. I don't know. You don't have any horror movies on your.
I've only done one. I did a very good friend of mine in LA, and not related to my partner Mark Berman, but his mutual friend of ours, Barney Berman, is an Oscar-winning special effects guy. He won the Oscar for Star Trek back in 2009, and he made all the creatures and the monsters and everything on it. And he made a movie called Barney Berman's Wild Boar, and I kind of helped. I helped with everything from build sets to everything on that thing, and I had a small little part in it, and I died a very gruesome death. But that's really
killed by a boar. You got killed by a wild boar.
I've done. Yeah, but it's not like a normal wild boar.
like a really big one, right?
Yeah, but yeah, if you can find Barney Berman's Wild Boar out there somewhere streaming, I know it's out there someplace. It was actually very big among the horror film,
I remember that. No, I actually remember that, but I don't think I knew you then.
Yeah, and Barney is an amazing special effects guy because he brought all his skills, and he had a studio at the time because he was doing all the special effects for Grimm. And so he had his own studio at the time. And so we had resources galore, there. So the movie was much higher production value than what the budget was. It was an amazing looking film. It was really
that's
good.
the way all movies should be.
I do horror movies, but I don't like them. I was eaten by a gigantic rat. And that was weird. Oh, that was fun because it got on the set at 6 a.m. You know how studios are dark.
Yeah.
And there was this Volkswagen-sized rat with slime falling out of its teeth and red eyes. And I didn't realize it was there. And I turned a corner and I got scared hell. And I thought, wow, this rat's really going to, work in the film. Unfortunately, it wasn't as frightening in the film because they lit the rat. They should have left the rat in the dark because that's where it was frightening. But, you can't suggest they tell you.
Yeah, made it look more real, too, or more,
So,
if you suggest they fire you, you know that.
do you like horror movies? Do you like horror movies? Do you watch them ever?
I don't watch a lot of them. It's not really my thing. Although my wife, on our very first date, I took her to see, I don't know if you remember the movie Skeleton Key.
Yeah.
With Kate Hudson and all that. I took her to see that specifically because I was trying to, get her to, cuddle up.
Right, to grab you. To scream and hug you. You're a sneak.
15 years next week.
There you go. So I want to know, because I went down your IMDb and I was looking on it all, and how did you get to be yourself at the Emmy Awards twice?
We were invited. I had a show that was nominated one year, and then the next year a good friend of mine's show was nominated for 5, and so he invited me to come with them. So we got to go. I mean, I wasn't on stage; I was just there.
But you get a credit for that on IMDb.
You get the credit, yeah.
Hey, that's freaking cool.
I know. I'll take the credit. It was a lot of fun because my wife had never been to anything like that. I went to the Oscars back in when I was here. It was like early '90s, I think. And my wife had never been to anything like that. And so she's from Golden, Colorado. A little mountain girl, and she said, "What do I need to do?" I said, "Well, imagine the most formal prom or cotillion or whatever." She was a sorority girl, so she understood proms and cotillions and all that stuff. And multiply it by 1,000. And I actually hired someone to take her out and help her get a dress and the shoes. And there's a makeup guy here in Houston that does a lot of work in LA over on Rodeo Drive. He's back and forth quite a bit. There's certain actors that actually fly him all over the country to come do their eyebrows and different things. And I had Edward come out and do her hair and makeup, for the deal and everything. And I mean,
it was a big deal.
It was nuts because I was down in the lobby of the hotel. We were staying at the Ritz-Carlton right next door to the Staples Center where the show was. And so all the different shows are downstairs interviewing people and doing different things. And I went down to the lobby to get Starbucks. I was coming back up to the room, and I passed my wife on the elevator and not on the escalator.
Didn't even know her. Well, that's
fun.
good because a lot of men would say to their wives, "Change your hair color. I want you to be a redhead, so I feel like I'm in bed with a different woman." So, really, it was years ago. That was a standard joke. Women in my day, as they grew gray, they grew blonde. Of course, they never got gray hair. So the husband would say, for years I was banging a brunette. Now I'm banging a blonde. So it's the same woman, but
I love it though. So what are your favorite kinds of movies? You do a lot of action kind of shit. I
like the action stuff. I produced a kids movie for this last summer. I'd never done a kids movie or really anything with kids, and I did this. It was a hilarious. It's going to be really, really funny. It's still in post-production right now, but it's called Wonder London, and it's a little kids fantasy action adventure. So there's magic and floating around and magic spells and things like that. But it's got Vivica A. Fox, Taryn Manning, Sheena Campbell, a bunch of, and it's just absolutely hilarious. Cousin Tommy from I can't think of his name right now. Steve Harvey's radio show is in it. Absolutely hilarious, funny. 80% of my cast was under 14. Never dealt with that before. We had a dog. I never dealt with that before. but had a great time with that. I had more fun than I thought I would have. I really enjoyed doing it. And but no, yeah, I like action adventure stuff. If you look on there, I play cop a lot. I'm a cop a lot.
That's like him. He's a mobster.
If it has initials, I've been it. NCIS, FBI, ATF, FBI, anything that's got initials, I've been at some point. I've been an LA cop, a Dallas cop, a New Orleans cop, a New York City cop. I've been a lot of cops.
Actually,
Yeah.
Taryn Manning is very cool. We had her on the show, and she actually lives here in Palm Springs.
Yeah, she lives there in Palm Springs. Yeah, she's actually a friend of mine now. We actually made friends on that show. Her ride taking her, we were shooting out at a ranch, and her ride taking her back to the city, to the airport, was like 3 hours late. And we sat in her trailer talking, and just became really, really good friends. And I got to hang out with her a little bit back in February when I was out there for the Super Bowl. So I love Taryn. She's amazing.
She's super nice. She's a
Now,
really famous singer. I mean,
question.
she's like a really good singer.
People want to know, living an exciting life in LA, what made you move to Texas?
Well, I grew up here, and I moved to LA, back then when I was 19, whatever. And but when I lost that job a few years later because Disney bought ABC, and then capital cities ramp up to sell it, they did all this cutting and did all these things. And I lost my job. And because I was in my early 20s and living in LA, I had about 8 cents in savings. So I had like 30 days to find another job, and ended up coming back to Texas, went back to school, became a paramedic and a firefighter for a while, and did a few things. But I stayed in touch with a lot of my friends out there. I used to go to the comedy clubs a lot. So I had a lot of comedians who were friends, and I stayed in touch with them. And about 20 years ago, a couple of the comedians and I started doing some little short films and funny little stuff together. And next thing I knew, I was back in the business. So
you like living in Texas?
I do, and I can live here a lot nicer than I can live out there.
That's for sure. Whereabouts?
I can generally get a round trip ticket to LA, until all this craziness, for about $250 or $300. Now, when I was out there last week, I paid $1,200 for my plane ticket. But
it's insane.
Generally, it's very easy to get back and forth. Plus, I can get to New Orleans, Atlanta, New York, Miami. I can get anywhere in the country in a half a day.
Yeah, whereabouts are you in Texas?
I'm in Houston.
I love Houston.
Yeah, and we're in far northwest. I'm only about 2 hours from Austin.
Houston is a nice, clean little city.
It is. It's a nice place. It's home.
You know where the Alamo is?
San Antonio.
Oh, San
Antonio.
Okay.
Another favorite place of mine. I go cross country a lot by car because I love to drive. Years ago, not anymore. And my favorite stops were Houston and San Antonio. And I love San Antonio to eat along the canal. It's so pretty and so picturesque, so hot, humid, but
yeah, it is. Yeah, I shot a movie there last fall, and it was
love it there, beautiful.
Stupid hot.
Now, what a house that's in Texas for, like, say, $300,000 is $3 million in LA. Yeah, it's really sad.
Our prices are starting to go up, but when people come to visit and they see my home, they think it's a multi-million-dollar home, and it's by no means, not even close. Right. And so it's, and especially when friends come from like New York City, they're just astounded. But our prices are starting to go up now, especially with everybody from California moving out here all of a sudden.
I know there's such an exodus to Texas. So many people. We have, I won't mention their name, but a very famous soap opera star, actually the king of all soap operas. He and his wife want to sell in LA now, move to Texas. Mm-hmm. And I asked, I asked why Texas. He said because it's a Republican state. I thought, okay, that's interesting. That's a reason, I guess.
Well, I mean, the quality of life is just, amazing. You don't have that great LA weather, but you've got, these people are out there are finding out if they can sell their 2-bedroom, 1-bath home for $2 million and move here and for $2 million, buy an estate.
Right.
Right. Also, they're in a 10,000 square foot house with a pool and everything.
Right.
Have you ever heard? Have you heard of Pilot Point, Texas?
Yeah.
Is that far from Houston?
I'm not sure exactly where it is. I actually think it's up. I think it's down on the coast somewhere, maybe around Beaumont or Port Arthur.
Okay.
Why are we shooting in?
Look it up. I'm really
Sure.
sure.
We're doing a movie, and now I think that you could be, maybe I could get you involved in that, because we're going to be doing a
right
movie.
here, buddy.
We're going to be doing a movie in Pilot Point. It's a horror movie, so like you'd be in another horror movie, and it's going to be an iconic horror movie. I can't say too much.
Am I in that one?
Yeah, you're in it.
See, it pays to play with. No, I'm telling you, sleep with the producer. You get so many jobs.
There you go.
And actually, the movie came out of one of the guests that we had on the show, and
Yeah, and I was asked in, not because of him.
he asked
He
I
asked
told
in for me.
Well, anyway, we're gonna have a bunch of icons from the 80s and 90s, in this film. It's a horror film,
Fun.
and we've already got like 8 or 10 big people committed to it, and
Nice.
And so we're
I
putting
know
it
the
together
one.
now.
I know the one you're talking. He's talking about a good movie.
Oh, I could probably get him. Actually, we could probably get him.
Who, Eric
He's
Estrada?
probably
Yeah.
good. He's doing a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, he's doing a
all
lot
my
of
friends
stuff.
have worked with him. I'm the only one I know that hasn't worked with him yet. And I loved that Chip show when I was a kid.
He's a really nice guy. I met him at a convention in
tells me,
Florida
yeah.
years ago, and he's on my Jimmy Star is the Shit video series. And except for that, he wouldn't say Jimmy Star is the shit because he said I'm a policeman, now, and I don't want to say it. So he
No,
said,
I hate it.
So he said Jimmy Star is the bomb. But he was super nice. Like,
You know,
he's really, really
That's
nice.
what everybody tells me. That's why I want to meet him, because I like it when I meet heroes or people that I'm fond of, and they turn out to be great folks.
I can't
I hate it
imagine.
when it's the other way around. I just worked with an actor, a very big name. I won't say his name, but an A-list actor on a film. Just shot my scenes 2 weeks ago while I was out there. And man, I will never work with that guy again. I'll never even walk into the same room with him again. If I walk into a room and he's in there, I'm walking right back out. Just
There you go.
I feel that way about
I
it.
don't understand why people want to be that way. I would not want to be known as that kind of guy.
No, I've been on set
Yeah.
where I have been instructed, do not speak to the star.
Yeah.
And I say, fuck you. And the first thing I do, I don't care if I get thrown off. Look, listen, I made a movie with Sophia Loren, 1959. I played a soldier. Do not go near Sophia Loren or Tab Hunter or Barbara Nichols or George Sanders. They told us, the whole important cast. I went over and sat down next to Sophia in George Sanders' strap chair.
Mm-hmm.
They came over to me and they said, hey, soldier, up. And Sophia looked and said, no, let him stay, because I had spoken to her already. I spoke in Italian, and she said to me, your Italian is as bad as my English. So we bonded.
Right.
Sophia Loren is a decent human being and a kind woman. But we have a very good friend of ours who has worked with J-Lo and hates J-Lo because J-Lo tells people you're not to look her in the eye, you're not to speak to her, and you're not to go anywhere near her.
Yeah.
I mean, J-Lo is a Puerto Rican from New York who had shit.
Yeah.
And who the fuck does she think she is now?
Right.
But a big ass broad that when
She's
she's
not gonna be on
50,
this show anytime soon, but yeah.
so wait a minute, that big ass of hers when she's 50, she's not gonna.
Now.
Well,
Yeah,
when
it's
she's
just gonna be a big ass.
when she's 65 and that ass is down to her ankles, she's not going to be so happy about it.
Yeah. No, there's no reason. And I didn't even say anything to him. I went up, I said my line, and turned around and walked away, and then just got my head ripped off. And I'm like, okay, but and I've worked with a number of people who, the crew even warned me, beforehand. Everybody on the crew said, just watch these guys, all over.
That's horrible. That's really horrible.
But then I was warned. I did a movie a couple of years ago, not a movie, it's actually a Hulu series with Sean Penn called The First. And everybody warned me, watch out for Sean Penn. He's horrible to work with. You're going to hate it. He's going to be rude to you and mean to you and whatever. We had this long, horrible scene where we're supposed to be in a congressional office building, and we're walking down this long marble hallway while we're talking. And then we go through a door and down some stairs. Horrible, long scene. One of those Aaron Sorkin, walking forever with 500 things going on simultaneously scenes. And we had to do it about 1 million times, because I will say this, he did know his lines, but I will also say this, he had a hell of a lot more lines than I did to learn. So, but we had to keep doing it over because he kept messing it up. And I messed it up a couple of times too. But in part of the scene, and it was getting late and we were doing it over and over again. He was opening doors for me and asking me how I was and what I did and where I lived, and that he was as nice as he could be. And I really didn't expect to like him, and I was prepared not to like him. And but he couldn't have been nicer.
I think you always have to.
Same thing with Betty Davis. I was warned, be careful of Betty Davis. Don't be friendly with her. She's not really very nice. Bullshit. I became her friend. I went to her house for parties. We knew each other until she went to Paris and died. Betty Davis didn't like phonies. If you kissed her ass and flattered her, she threw up. She liked me because I cursed. She loved the word fuck. Betty Davis used fucking. No, every other word was fuck.
I can see that.
I go to her apartment. Guess what her apartment number was? 4F. So, of course, I had to say something. I said, Betty, how apropos. You're living in an apartment, 4 fucks. She said, yes, darling, 4X. With that, she inhaled a cigarette and drank scotch at the same time. I never got over how anyone could do that. It was a talent. And Betty Davis was probably the sweetest, the nicest, a funny lady. She loved dirty jokes. She was so far from what people said. She was evil and mean and not true. Not true at all.
I think it just kind of depends because I think everybody has different experiences.
No, Raquel Welch is not nice. You know, Raquel Welch, Betty Davis hated her.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like her. I don't like Raquel Welch because
I invited her on our show.
And you know what she said? I will never go on your show.
Oh.
You know,
I met her one time. She came into ABC to do a Good Morning America interview, and she was reasonably nice. I mean, you know, we didn't spend a lot of time together, but she was reasonably nice. But it's also, you know, it was 4:00 in the morning because, you know, Good Morning America is done on the East Coast, and we were on the West Coast. So she had to come in at 4 a.m. to get in hair and makeup to do her Good Morning America bit. So, you know, she wasn't in the greatest of moods either. But
Lara Spence is on ABC Good Morning, and she grew up in my house. She's my daughter Leslie's best and dearest friend, is Lara Spencer. So I know, but I mean, I know we interviewers talk among ourselves, and an actor is stupid if they get in our hair, because we spread the word to each other. No, we do. I have been called up and said, so-and-so is coming on your show. Don't do this. Don't say that. I didn't got in trouble. And my feelings are, listen, if you can't be honest on our show, get the fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, we're not scripted. We're not scripted. We are a listen, we are a conversation show. And we say whatever we want. We're unscripted and unfiltered. And that's what makes us the #1 show for all these years. Emmy nominated, all that bullshit. We don't do like everybody else. We don't tell you what to say or what questions we're going to ask you. You have no idea what I'm going to throw at you. And the beautiful thing is the spontaneity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a smart, clever host, you know how to throw it back. And that's what makes a good show. And you're a good host. I'm happy with you. Well, you're a talker, you're a storyteller, and you know how to throw it back. So you're easy work. I've had people on where I want to kill myself.
I believe that.
They just do
What I like about you, Ron, is you're exactly the same in person, though. You're standing in the room talking to you. Your conversation, everything you do is exactly just like it is on the show.
If you give me a script, I act. But if I'm doing this show, I'm me. Why?
Yeah, you're exactly you.
I sell me, and Jimmy sells himself. Don't you sell yourself when you're you?
I try to.
I mean, you have to. Nobody likes when you're you and you're full of shit. And you have airs and you talk, you put on the Ritz and all that crap. People don't like that. People want to know, who is Ron Russell? This is Ron. He got a dirty mouth. He's a little nuts. He's an old man. He's crazy, but he's funny. We like him. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, no.
And that's what makes movies.
Yeah.
And you're honest and you're down to, you talked about real estate and homes and prices. I like that. No, really. A lot of celebrities won't do that.
We actually had Donna Mills on last week, though, and she even publicly told everybody she's 81.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually I was going to watch that. I had to catch
gorgeous!
I didn't watch, but I was actually looking forward to that.
She's very good. If you ever need like someone to play like an older woman person, she's like, she's
Jeff.
I'm sure I saw she looked fabulous.
Fabulous.
She is probably one of the most honest guests we've had. She told it like it was. No, she's good.
And she just booked a role.
I really wanted to see that episode. But
watch it on YouTube. It's going to play on
I will.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'll catch it at some point.
It's a good one.
I was in LA that day and I had to catch a flight to Nashville. And
it's a good interview. Some of them stink, but that was a good one.
She's working though. She's working a lot. She just did the latest Jordan Peele movie.
Oh, okay.
That's like big time, like going into a Jordan Peele movie because he's like big time. So I think it's all really cool. So let's go with some hypotheticals then, since you're an action guy, and I always love this. So if you could have been in any action movie that's ever been made in the world, what action movie you'd be like, oh my God, I would love to be the star of this movie?
I guess it's an action movie. My favorite movie in the whole wide world, I mean, it sounds silly, is Smokey and the Bandit. I love that.
Oh my God, what a great movie.
And you know what?
I mean, I can turn on the TV right now and it's halfway through the movie and I will stop and watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, fact. I've often spoken to Bert about his movies, and I said, out of all your films, did you love the one with Catherine Deneuve the most because you were making love to her? He really made love to her in real life anyway. He said, nah, making love to her on the camera wasn't fun. It was making love to her off camera that was.
Yeah.
But he did say that he loved his Bandit movies.
Yeah,
They
and
were
everybody
Bert's
told him not to
favorite.
do it. It was going to ruin his career.
No, they were
Because it was his friend Hal Needham's movie, and Hal had never directed before and done anything. And they said, no, this is going to be a disaster. It's going to ruin you. But he had promised Hal that he would do it, and he did it. And that character he played was the closest to who Burt Reynolds really was. Yeah.
In real life, he loved it. He loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what? They kept giving him Trans Am cars for free. He never had to buy a Trans Am. They kept every year they gave him a brand new Trans Am.
I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida. I went to Forest Hill High School, and Burt Reynolds' brother was my high school football coach.
Okay,
and I was very good friends with his nephew.
Dad was the sheriff, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was really good friends with his nephew. And Burt Reynolds used to come and hang out at lunch with all of us, and he would sit on the bleachers and just like hang out with us, just like a regular person, which was super cool. And my dad worked for the airlines, and for some reason, like he was like the liaison. So every time Burt flew in, my dad was the one who picked him up. So, and Ron used to be really good friends with his manager.
Lee Winkler is the founder. Lee Winkler was the business manager of all the biggest stars in Hollywood, and he was with Burt
back then
from when Burt started off as nobody, and that's how I got close to Burt, because Lee was my best and dearest friend in the world. So I had lots of lunches with Burt, and he used to come up to the house, Lee and Perry's house up in Truesdale, and Burt was just a regular guy. He didn't give a shit about Hollywood. He couldn't care less. All he wanted to do was get high and have a girl around. So no, really, he liked getting high. He liked drinking.
Actually, too, though, then the movie you did, Poker Run, is kind of like a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit.
Is that the first one, Stand on It, was absolutely, it was a tribute parody of Smokey and the Bandit, and then Poker Run was the second in the series. It kind of veers off. It's not on quite the same path. And then they're getting ready to start shooting the third one. I can't remember what the Double Down or Get Down or something. I forget what it's called, but I know they're fixing to start the third one, and I'm waiting for my phone to ring.
It'll ring.
Bert also liked working with Dolly Parton in Littlest Who House.
Best Little
Who House in Texas. Yeah. He liked playing a Texan, and he liked the accent, and he liked that country boy image more than anything else that he had ever done.
I never met him, but when I was a kid, my father pointed him out to me. We were at the Warwick Hotel here in Houston, and Bert was in the lobby, and my dad pointed him out to me, but I never met him. I actually have a friend named Tim Phillips who actually works full-time. This is a full-time job as a Burt Reynolds Bandit Darvel impersonator. He travels the country. He's got a friend that does Buford with the gold police car and the whole thing. He's really amazing. He actually knew Burt very well for a long time. And Burt, toward the end, when he started getting older, actually used to hire Tim to go with him when he was hired for appearances, because he said, I'm showing up these appearances and people are disappointed because I don't look like me anymore. So he would take Tim because he looked like young Burt Reynolds, and then you would get real Burt Reynolds at the same time.
Oh my God, that's fun. He also, the last movie that he did, The Last Action Star, was a really good movie. The guy who directed it, now I forgot his name, even though we follow each other. But he came on our show when the movie came out, and it was a really good movie. We watched it.
Yeah.
I'm only sorry. I was living in Florida at the time, and Burt was up at Jupiter, and my friend Nicole was going up to see him, and she said, "You want to see Burt?" And I'd say, "Oh, I can't today. Blah 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 blah." And she went. She came back and she said, "Ron, good thing you didn't go. It's not Burt anymore. Doesn't even look like him. He's bald and he's this and he's that. He really got old and sickly quickly." And it was sad. It was sad. Bad. So I'm happy that I remember him as being a spiffy guy, not the other.
In the chat room, they're saying your phone is going to ring. So let's tell us. tell us about. Okay, so that's the movie. If it's nobody has ever picked that movie, by the way, like ever.
Well, it's not really that. I guess kind of an action movie, but
it's an action movie.
I've got a lot of favorites. I would have loved one of my favorite guys in the world, Steve McQueen, and like one of his last movies, The Hunter. And some things that I would have loved to do something like that. And
so who's your bucket list male and female like actor then that you would like to to work with?
Well, most of them are dead. I've worked with Mark Wahlberg.
They can be dead. They could be dead. No, they could be dead. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess right now it's really, believe it or not, it's Mark Wahlberg of all people. I've worked with him twice on Daddy's Home and Deepwater Horizon, and actually got Deepwater Horizon because of Daddy's Home. So, I just have, it's weird because he's not the kind of guy that I'd normally hang out with, but I've got so much respect for him in the industry and what he's built, this empire that he's built, not just his acting, but his directing, and the scripts that he buys and produces are solid stuff. And he always does a great job with them. And I really have a lot of respect for him. So I would love to do something with him in a much bigger role than the little bitty roles I was in the other two. But
he's phenomenal though. And
remember, there are no little roles. Remember that. Only little actors.
I also, cause I've been a fan of his back from the Marky Mark days. Like I know the words to all of his songs, and I know he disassociates himself from that, but like that made a name for him. And I like fucking think he's freaking awesome. So I think that's an actually good one. Okay. What about a female?
Gosh. I really don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot that I really like. I'd like to work with Taryn again. She was fun. But
Taryn Manning, she's fabulous.
Taryn Manning, yeah, I loved Taryn, and I didn't even have a scene with her. We just were on set at the same time, so we became friends. But guys, nobody really stands out. I can't think of it. I guess bucket list of all time.
Yeah, Dead or Alive bucket list of all time.
Gosh.
The most important actress. Who's your most important?
Somebody I really love though. I don't even know if she's still working because she's so much older than she looks, but I still see her face on different things. Is Rita Moreno? I think she's amazing.
Oh, Rita, yeah. Rita is fabulous.
Yeah, she's still alive, but gosh, she's pushing late 80s now. I think.
No, she's about 94.
My gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rita's
she's still working though. I just read Deadline.
Yeah.
She just got cast in something big. I forgot what, but something big. That's a really cool one, though. Nobody's ever picked her either.
I'm positive she's out of the 80s because I'm 82. She's about 80. She's about 90, 91. Yeah.
I love that, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're living longer. When we asked Donna Mills, I said, you're 81. Are you like me, worrying about there's not much left? She said, no way, Ron. I intend to live to 120. And I believe she will.
She looks fabulous.
Yeah.
She looks about 40.
So many of the women are still alive or have just recently passed away. I think y'all know Rita Lee, right? I mean, everybody loves Rita Lee. Her best friend was Debbie Reynolds, and she comes out of that whole crew. And all these leading ladies from back in the golden Hollywood days, we're just now kind of losing them. But the guys all died, in the 70s and 80s or whatever. But when you go back and watch it, you realize that the guy was, 58 and the girl was 19, and they were in a love movie together,
Right.
And
but
so
Rita Lee is still a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And Debbie Reynolds, I knew very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Debbie and Joan Rivers were in a limo that I got thrown into after a comedy show. I sat between the two of them. Sailors don't even use the language those two broads used. They were going
I love Joan Rivers so much. I cried when she passed away.
But wait,
when I was living there in the 80s, her daughter Melissa is my age, and I had the biggest crush on Melissa. I was in love. It was really sad, but that was right about the time her husband Edgar passed away, and he passed away the same way my father passed away, and so we had a kind of a little bond thing that we were both dealing with that. And
hang on, go back. Let Ron tell, because Ron was in the car.
I was. What happened?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. We went to the comedy club where Joan Rivers would bring her jokes, and she invited friends, not audience.
Yeah, Carlos and Charlie's.
Right. And
she would go on Thursday nights and watch her prep for the Monday night.
And we'd sit on the bleachers and she would do her jokes and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So I'm leaving and I'm talking. Right. I'm leaving and I'm talking to Debbie Reynolds. And Debbie said, just a minute, come in the car with me. We'll chat. I get in the car, and then who comes in the car but Joan Rivers? So now I'm stuck between the two of them, and they're gabbing. And what went on, I wish I had a camera. It would have been You've never I was laughing so hard that I had pains. You know, heavy pains in your jaw and leg. And they looked at me. They said, like, "What's wrong with you? You know, why are you laughing so hard?" I said, "You two fucking women have got to be kidding." Debbie Reynolds was Debbie was wittier than Joan. Joan threw it at her. Debbie was wonderful. I knew Debbie for a lot of years through Jane Russell. Jane Russell was my best buddy.
Yeah.
So like you, we wove through Hollywood and met a lot of wonderful people, wonderful actors and actresses. Lucky us, huh?
Yeah, wonderful. I never met Debbie, but I knew Carrie pretty well. And in fact, the last time she came to Houston, I wanted my mom to meet her, so I took my mom down and we visited with her a little while. And that was just a few months before she passed away. And I just loved Carrie Fisher.
Absolutely.
I never met Carrie.
Were you a Star Wars fan?
No, I mean, not any more than anybody else. I mean, you know, gosh,
Well,
I was.
some people are like really like into it. Like I.
Now, I'm going to ask that question. Did you have a best friend who was a famous movie star?
No.
How come?
No, I've made some friends of some actors, not anybody crazy famous, I guess, but you know, I've made some friends. I actually met, and when I was living there in the 80s, I met Nick Cage. He was going by the name Nick Coppola back then. And I met him, and we just enough that a best friend of mine was dating a girl that was kind of in his little circle of friends. And so I was frequently running into him at parties, you know, and different things, or at people's houses. And so I knew him just to the point that we would recognize each other and be social and say hi or whatever. But I mean, he wasn't going to call me up to come hang out or anything. And a movie came out, and it was called Valley Girl. It was one of his first movies.
I fucking love Valley Girl. We just had Deborah Foreman on like a couple weeks ago. I love Valley Girl.
I thought it was so bad.
Oh my God.
I really didn't like that movie. I thought it was so bad that I actually made a conscious decision not to hang out or talk to Nick anymore. It's a horrible thing to do, but it's like I just hated that movie. And every time I talked to him, I just kept seeing that character in my head. And but then years later, I produced a movie with Nick in it.
Now wait a minute. Is he difficult? I'm supposed to be in a. There's a possibility.
He's not as much fun as Willem Dafoe. He's a method actor, and his character in this movie was a very dark, disturbed person. And so he pretty much stayed in his trailer. He would come out, he would do his scenes, and then he would off back to the trailer. He didn't hang around on set and visit a lot. There were some publicity things he had to come out and do. We had special guests on set and things like that. And he'd stepped up and did all that stuff. But as far as just being chit chatty or hanging out and talking or whatever, he was just very quiet and kind of stayed in his own little zone.
But he wasn't difficult. He wasn't difficult. He wasn't.
I wouldn't call him difficult.
No,
I mean, he had his little things, but you know,
possibility that he's going to be in a film I'm in.
Oh, okay.
A film that I'm in his film.
Yeah,
he's not in my film.
Well, his project seemed to be getting better. He went through a little period of having to take on some kind of sketchy products. I guess maybe ours was one of them, but he. His project seemed to be improving significantly. So
I know he's got some good ones now.
He needs money.
Reemerge, you know, as a major guy again.
Actually, he is a major guy again. He is a major guy again. He has like two big hits, and like he paid off all his debts, so he's doing good. And going back to Valley Girl, so do you remember in there when the one girl, E.G. Daly, is in there and she's like talking to him and she pulls her top off? It's the only naked scene in Valley Girl. That's E.G. Daly. She's been on our show like 10 times. She's a really big pop star back in the day. Right. Was a big pop star. And so we had her on, and Deborah Foreman's been on twice, who still looks really, really good. And she's the star, you know, with Nicolas Cage. She's the girl. She's the Valley Girl. And I think that movie was so much fun, like back in those days. I mean, if you look at now and you look back at it, it's a cheesy, terrible movie, but almost all the movies from the 80s are. My favorite 80s movie is Thrashin'.
Oh, yeah.
Thrashin'. I was really good. I was, before he passed away, really good friends with Brooke McCarter, who was one of the Josh Brolin's, best friend. It was Josh Brolin's best friend in that movie, and we recently met the guy who plays the Dagger, the lead Dagger guy, and awesome. I love that movie though. That's like one of my favorite.
That's my youth right there. You're talking about. So, yeah.
Me too, and I was a skateboarder.
I was told in the 1960s, all the movies that were made were transitional. We were leaving the great dramas and big epics of the 50s. And now we were starting to do a whole new kind of movie. Tony Curtis and I were buddies. I hate to drop names, but that's what our show is all about. No, people love
No,
it.
I love it. I
No,
love it.
people write in. My people say,
Yeah.
Ron, did you know this one? You know, they love when I talk
Yeah.
about it.
I'm old school. I love to hear that. So
Tony Curtis was probably my daughter's favorite. Leslie adored him. Tony was the funniest guy in the world. Anyway, he said that he made a lot of dumb movies in the 60s, as opposed to the great movies he made with Burt Lancaster in the 50s. But that's what they were doing. They were transcending into a different era, a different way of films, a little more risque, a little more language, a little more openness with comedy. So that's why the 60s and 70s films, and then of course there's The Great Gatsby with Robert Redford that brought it all back to the great, big, wonderful films. So you can't really say, Jimmy, that those movies were stinking or crappy.
80s, a lot of them were though.
No, the 60s, 70s, and 80s were all movies learning to be what we are today.
I liked all the music ones.
And then there's the 80s classics like, Porky's and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Fast
God,
Times at Ridgemont High and
We're really good friends with some of the people from Fast Times at Ridgemont
Yeah.
High, and I worked in a movie
Oh,
theater.
go back and look at who all was in that. Can you
I
believe
know,
it?
everybody's
Judge
in it.
Reinhold, he was what, 12? And
And Porky's, I worked in a movie theater, and so like I literally like saw Porky's like 500 times because like and I was in high school. That was like the movie of the year.
Yeah.
And
I had to go back and see it like 3 times because everybody was laughing so hard through the whole movie. You missed half the funny stuff.
I know, like they had the one guy. His name was Meat because he had a really big
Meat.
dick.
Right.
I mean, it was just funny. It was a funny
I
movie.
remember Porky's.
It was funny. Just laid back, funny. Who
But-
cares? Let's just have fun with the thing. And
Right.
It was hilarious.
Well, the reason for that was we had the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and we needed to laugh. Now we need to bring those films back again. We need comedy. They're not doing comedy anymore. They're doing these horrible movies that we have to watch every night where it's so real. They're wiping their ass on the screen on toilet bowls. They're peeing on it. I mean, it's disgusting.
Ron has a heart attack.
Well, because we don't need to see this. We need to be entertained. We don't have to be reminded.
We've watched movies lately since COVID, and like one of them, Juliana Moore's taking a poop,
And she wipes her
watches it,
butt.
and she wipes her ass, and like and on screen, and Ron's just like, we don't need to see these. Like,
No, I
these
love.
are like
We don't need
A-list
to see it.
stars.
That's a part of reality we can just assume in our minds.
No, you know what it is? I love Julie. I love her. And I've always thought of her as a fine actress with great taste.
Oh, my wife loves her.
Seeing that, I didn't lose respect for her, but I just thought, how desperate could she have been to have accepted that script?
Or not to just
Yes.
change that.
Now, I
scene.
ask our celebrities.
Somebody convinced her it was artistically important for the
Yeah,
film.
I'm going to. I ask our guests now because of that. This question, and I'm going to ask you: would you do a frontal nude? Would you do a urinating or feces shot? Would you do any of that in a movie?
I would not do a urinating or feces shot unless it was like a waist up where you don't. I've seen guys where like guys are standing at the urinals talking. I've seen that.
That's different. That's
different. I have no problem with that. I actually did a full back nudity in a movie. Oh, what was the movie called? It was about the Hollywood 7 that. I can't even think of the name of the movie now. But we're basically a little row of guys getting put in prison, and they're hosing us down with the delicing and all that. So it's just a bunch of us from the back.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I had no problem with that. As far as the full frontal, I get. Again, if somebody convinced me it was artistically important to the scene,
I don't think
I might, but I wouldn't do it just for the gratuitous opportunity to do it.
I don't think it's necessary. I was asked to do a front nude scene, and I said I will not because then everybody's going to be tripping over it and suing me.
Well, yeah, and they got to have that wide angle lens and all that. So, yeah.
That's so funny.
No, I was never asked to do a frontal. I'm 82 years old. Who the fuck wants to see an 82-year-old nude?
Actually, that's not true. Somebody did want you to.
Who?
Because we passed it along to somebody else, and they did it.
I was asked to do a nude.
Yeah.
At my age, they
Yeah.
must have been crazy.
They got another 80-year-old guy.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, I look like an 80-year-old naked, so maybe they can call me next time.
No, I don't. I don't remember this. After the show, fill me in.
I forgot who it was. It was during COVID. It was during COVID. Somebody asked me if you would do full frontal. Oh, and you know who we gave it to? Actually, not another 80-year-old. We referred Ted.
To who?
Ted.
Ted.
Ted, the guy. Yeah, the Ted did it. I think.
And Ted did it?
I think he did. Well, he was. I don't know if he did it, but he's the one who.
Oh, I got to call Ted up. I don't believe Ted did it. Ted, the Bible banging Southerner from New Orleans. Holy shit!
He's not. Is he from New Orleans?
Yeah, he's from some.
The guy who came to Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Ted.
Georgia. Ted.
Oh, okay.
Ted from Georgia.
Okay.
He's dating that stunningly gorgeous woman. That
Yes.
black. He's dating a black woman who's breathtakingly beautiful
I love it.
and sweet as could be.
So it's so
I
much
gotta
fun.
call Ted and ask him.
All right, so you guys, this is Jeff Caperton. You want to check him out on Instagram. His Instagram is at Jeff Caperton. Check out all his cool movies. He's also got some other ones.
And Jeff, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Come in my movie.
Absolutely.
I want you in the film.
Yeah, we're gonna put him in it.
Yeah.
He might help.
I
would
think
love to do that.
I think you could look like a good nut.
At Kroger, we believe it takes the right team to bring you the freshest produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best. And that level of teamwork means better, fresher options time and time again. Working with farmers is what it takes to be fresh for everyone. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
See, leave the beard. No, seriously, you could look like a nut. I'd like to see you in a.
Well, my hair's still growing back. I had to play a Vietnam Army general about 2 weeks ago.
This
out there
time
in LA, and they buzzed it. I mean, and I was shaved in the back of the head. I looked like a skinhead, but it was.
No, it looks good now, though. It looks good.
Yeah, it's starting to grow out now, but it's for about 2 weeks there. It was. I mean, the back of my head was smooth, skin bald. I mean, they buzzed it. And
well, you're gonna make a good Nazi. I think you're not what I forgot what character you are. You're one of the Nazis in the store.
You also just did a movie
forgot.
with Danielle Harris. Were you in any of her scenes? According to IMDb, Roadkill. Oh, she's really cool. She's like an icon.
Because I want to work with you. You and I.
I'm actually not playing a part in that movie. I just did some stunt driving. We spent about a month down in Florida shooting a big car chase scene for them.
Oh, okay.
So we were there. They shot her scene in a diner. I met her in the diner, but I didn't really get to talk to her.
She's really cool.
But Scream Queen, yeah.
Yeah, she's big time.
This way, you and I will be in the same scene with Lainey.
Okay.
Lainey, you and I, and also the one that plays my daughter, who we can't mention, but you know the father and the daughter. So now she's in the scene. The daughter, Lainey, and myself, and you, and also the father of the girl. Oh, your friend who you know, who I thought was ill, and you said is not.
Right. Yeah. I actually talked to his wife yesterday.
Good.
And
I have a quick story. Quick.
You have to hurry because our next guest is already here.
We interviewed him. We interviewed him on our show, and I said, "I understand you dated Lainey Kazan." He said, "Yeah, and she had the best."
He loves Lainey Kazan.
He said she had the best tits in the world. So I called up.
Yeah, he loves her.
Wait, listen, Jeff. I called up Lainey. I said, Lainey, so and so was on the show, and he said he dated you, and you had the best tits in the world. She said, No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. She said, that son of a bitch.
All right, everybody. We got another guest coming on. Jeff, we want to thank you for coming
Jeff,
on. Congratulations on everything. Again, you guys follow him on Instagram at Jeff Caperton. You can see a bunch of the stunts. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on again, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeff, for a good show. Take care, babe.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody, real quick before we bring on our next guest, you can listen to the Jimmy Star Show on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. We're on a bunch of other platforms too, but those are the ones everybody knows. And let's bring on our next guest. Hey, Gary, welcome. All right, everybody, we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Actor, musician extraordinaire, Gary Private. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Hey, so where are you, in Palm Springs?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just there last week.
Well, we missed you. We missed you.
Yeah, I stayed at this little place called Caliente Tropics.
I don't know what that is because we don't ever stay anywhere here.
No,
we're always in.
Yeah, I went to
LA.
Went to Eddie V for dinner.
Yes.
In Palm Desert.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really nice place.
So let me introduce you. This is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey,
Ron.
how you doing?
I'm okay.
Good.
So I also was with Joe Cortese last night, and I was with Frank Stallone, Mike Tyson, Eric Robb. I mean, it was a big memorial for the late great actor Paul Herman.
Yes, I saw it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was really beautiful last night.
And we've had we haven't had Frank on, but we've had Joe Cortez on our show. We've also had Eric Roberts on the show. So it's all cool. And we have a chat room full of people. Say hi to the chat room.
Hi, Teresa and Angela.
There you go. All right.
I met Frank Stallone and his mother at a party. And I was talking to his mother, and she said, "Drop your pants. I want to read your ass."
She was a trip. Yeah, she was a beautiful woman.
What do you mean? Was she's not alive anymore?
Oh no, she passed away.
You're kidding? When?
Yeah. I'm gonna guess 3 years ago.
Oh, I liked her. She was way out. She was way, way out there. But she said she could tell your fortune by your ass. So I cried. And her son, Frank, was standing there so embarrassed. He was he's like, "Mom, knock it off." I forgot what party it was, but it was a very important party with a lot of VIP people. And and she was running around like, "You want me to read your ass?" She was a character. Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
She was Yeah, but she lived a long time. I mean, she well into her late 90s. Yeah.
Or was she?
I love it.
Yeah, you know what? This party, I was with Jane Russell, so it was like 30 years ago.
So Frank Stallone is my favorite person that I follow on Instagram, and I saw that Gary liked one of his posts, so I went to see who Gary was, and then I followed Gary, and that's how I actually kind of like met Gary on social media in the first place, a long time ago.
I understand you're from Sheepshead Bay.
I'm from Sheepshead Bay, man. Yeah, I love it. I grew up.
I got so many buddies from Mill Basin, Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah, I went to James Madison High School.
Yeah, then you know all my friends. I'll talk after the show.
So you guys,
the Sheepshead Bay Diner.
Oh God, I love it.
Is it still there? I loved it.
I haven't been back there, Ron, in 10 years.
Oh, well, they made the best turkey triple-decker sandwich with the pickles.
Do you remember the Foursome Diner on Avenue U by King's Plaza?
Oh, yeah. That was years ago.
Yeah, we're going to the 70s.
Yeah, a lot of years back.
Ron turned 82 last week.
Yeah, so I know I was born in Red Hook in the Red Hook projects. Yeah. And so Brooklyn is my home. I love Brooklyn. I miss Brooklyn.
I miss it too, but you know what, Ron? I miss the Brooklyn
of the
that I grew
I grew
up with. It's not the same, Ron. It's not the same.
No, it's not, because the Italians all got high class and they all moved to Long Island.
Yeah,
and they got swimming pools. But in my day, people were people, human beings. We helped each other. We loved each other. Yeah. I remember Christmas, going to everybody's house to see their Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Cookies and cake. Honey, sit down. What can I get you? What do you want? Look, I got manicotti. Look, I got lasagna. Look, I got a nice beef. Look, I got over there spaghetti and meatballs. Look, you want a nice you want a couple of cannoli? It was wonderful.
All my Jewish friends that I went to high school with. I mean, listen, I don't know. We were kind of divided a little bit back then. I didn't really know about a lot of the world, until I was maybe 15, 16 and started going into Manhattan. But, on my side of the street were all private houses, and it was all Italian. On the other side of the street were all apartment buildings. They were all Jewish, and these were my best friends. And then all my Irish friends lived in Marine Park because they were all the firemen and the cops.
Yeah, and we couldn't have Irish friends. We were not allowed. We were not allowed to have Irish friends. My father said to me, "Don't you bring Irish home? I'll throw you out." Guess what I did? I married a girl who was Dutch, Irish, and Scottish. My father had a canary.
So hang on, let me brag a little bit here. So first of all, you can follow Gary. You guys, he's on Instagram. It's GaryPrivate_official, or his website is GaryPrivate.com.
It's Privetti, no?
No, it's private. It's not. No, my real last
name.
My real last name is Guadagno. It means to earn money. But
right,
I'll tell you a funny story. How I got the name Gary Private. I was performing at CBGB's, and Variety magazine came down, and I didn't know anything from anything. I get off the stage, and we opened up for the Talking Heads that night too. That was cool. So I get off the stage, and this woman comes over and she goes, what's your name? Now, I was always embarrassed by my last name. Just growing up, nobody pronounced it. My teachers couldn't pronounce it. It's a beautiful Italian last name now that I'm older, but as a child, I got a lot of abuse. So I hated my last name. And so she said, well, what's your last name? And I said, well, I had just gotten dressed in the manager's office, and on his door it said private. And I turned around, and I was a cocky fucking kid back then. And I said, hey, my name's on the fucking door. I came out of my and she knew I was bullshitting, and she knew I was full of shit. But I don't know if she did it on purpose, whatever. But she printed me Gary Private. So I hated it. It pissed me off. And then all of a sudden, I said, that's a cool fucking name. Because back then, it was John Cougar and all these fake name people, man.
You're right. My name is not Russell. I love Jane Russell all my life.
No.
And I took Jane Russell's name. My real last name is Cesarigo. Try saying that one.
Are you kidding? Yeah, really?
Yeah, my real name is Rolando Rocco Cesarigo. Can't get more Italian than that.
Look at us, huh?
And nobody would give me work because they thought I looked too ethnic. I was black hair, black eyebrows, dark, very dark. And back then they wanted Tab Hunter and Troy Donahue. They didn't want, Guinea-looking boys.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
So I didn't get work. I didn't get work because I was too ethnic looking at the time. Imagine being Italian and being called ethnic. But anyway, I was.
I know.
Now that I'm an old bag with white skin and white hair, they think I'm Irish. They hire me all over.
Yeah, those days are gone.
So hold on. I'm going to do some bragging so people don't know who you are. So you guys, Gary was a teen idol. He started drumming, playing the New York club circuit. He signed to Atlantic Records after playing Calvin Klein's birthday party at Studio 54. He had a big hit with the remake of the Four Top song, Reach Out, I'll Be There, which I listened to like 50 times yesterday on Spotify.
I'll be there.
And then he also released Secret Love. Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Like, are you the original on that? Or?
Oh, no.
I didn't know.
That was the Animals, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, you did a great remake because I listened to that a bunch of days. He's performed, you guys. He was on Dick Clark's American Bandstand twice, Playboy's Girls of Rock and Roll. He was in Teen Beat magazine, in the movie Flight of the Navigator, One Life to Live, Billboard magazine. He's written or performed and written for basically like songs with everybody, you guys. We got Foreigner, Elvis Costello, Lou Reed, Duran Duran, INXS, Yes, Bad Company, Alice Cooper. Dionne Warwick's been on our show. Aretha Franklin, Vanilla Fudge's been on our show. B-52's been on our show. The Ramones, Shaka Khan, Devo's been on our show. Bette Midler, Alanis Morissette, Mary Wells. Chicago's been on our show. Tina Turner. That's only half of them, you guys. There were so many of them. I just picked out the ones I knew.
But that was a big surprise to me because Warner Music took over my catalog, and they made a deal with I don't know, some other record company, but it's still under Warner, the label. And they made these compilation albums, and they put me on 30 of them, 30 goddamn albums, and they all have the biggest. Again, the list you named plus another 20, the biggest artists, anybody you could possibly imagine, and they put me on these compilation albums, like 30 of them. Now they've been out there for about 3 years. And I've been trying to get in touch with Warner and saying, "Hey, do I got a check coming or anything?"
Where are the royalties?
There must, because shit, man. Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
No, you're on a long list of recording stars that got screwed. We have so many that have come on, big, multi-million-dollar, song people. And I said, "Did you get screwed?" They said, "Yeah, I got $500." And that was I'm talking about Joya from
Bruno from Expose.
Joya Bruno from
Expose, CeCe Peniston.
CeCe, they're friends of ours, and they said they got beaten bad.
Oh yeah, I got screwed. I mean, they probably. I mean, it's not. Listen, I'm not some major big time star out there making millions, but I mean, I would say they owe me 20, 50 grand. Yeah, somewhere.
We'll go after them.
Yeah, I tried. I mean, it takes legal money to do that.
No, get somebody on contingent. There's a lot of young
I
lawyers.
should get Rocco from Brooklyn to,
Right. No better.
Yeah, he would love that.
No better still. I can get you Gotti's hitman. I mean, But did you ever go to the Culpa Lounge in Brooklyn?
Yeah, but not when it was back in the heydays. And I was born in '54, so yeah, I didn't really start making the Manhattan scene.
No, not the Culpa Cabana in New York City. The Culpa Lounge in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Then you know all my kids I know.
Oh yeah, I probably know a few.
Yeah. I'm sure you do, because everybody hung out at the Culpa Lounge in Brooklyn.
So then, how did you go? How did you transfer from going to okay, I'm a musician, because you've been in a ton of movies and TV shows, and actually your personality. I didn't know what your personality would be like, because you play a heavy, even in your acting reel. I watched, I think, 2 different acting reels of yours. You're half the time you're always like the asshole.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Yeah, I mean, I'm always the Italian bad guy, but not always. I've done some funny stuff. But
you play a wise guy all the time? Wise guy?
I play, an asshole. Like I did. I was on Blacklist with James Spader, and I pull into a hotel, and he makes believe he's the valet. So he comes over to me. Yeah, of course he wants to steal my fucking car. I'm driving this beautiful 1954 Corvette in red.
Convertible red. It was beautiful.
I got this blonde chick next to me, and I pull in, and he comes over to me. He goes, "Yeah, And so I just say, "Hey, listen, man, keep the fucking car close. Just keep it close." So I cut him off. I'm really rude to him, but I'll tell you, working with James Spader was great, man. That was a big thrill for me.
And then he takes off in the car and he peels out.
He steals the car. Unfortunately, that was the end of my scene. But it was a thrill working with him, man.
Oh, I think he's phenomenal. I'm an '80s movie thing,
Gary,
Pretty in Pink.
Gary, where do you live now?
I live in Hollywood.
You're kidding.
By Larchmont Village. Are you familiar with Larchmont Village?
Sure am.
Yeah, it's a little kind of really cool. You almost feel like you're in Connecticut or something.
My friend Beryl Davis lived there for a short while. Did you know Beryl Davis, the singer? She sang with Sinatra. Yeah, Beryl.
I didn't know it.
She lived there for a short period. So you like California better than New York and then Brooklyn?
You know what? I flew out to California. When Atlantic Records dropped me around '85, and I moved to LA around '85, and I got, listen, I knew everybody in New York. I went into all the clubs. I was really getting stagnant and stale, and I felt really kind of bored with New York at this point in my life. And I came out to LA. I saw my first palm tree, and I fell in love with the place. And I came out here with some cash, so I didn't have to scramble to get a gig or anything. So I was hanging out with Mickey Rourke and and Frank Stallone. All these great people. I'm meeting all these people that I was fans of, and now I'm hanging out with these guys, which was really cool. And they kind of accepted me, and I did kind of always gear myself to making friends with East Coast Italian guys. They were the most acceptable to me. They were just really cool. They accepted me is what I mean.
Yes.
If I could bring it back years ago, I would move back to Mill Basin in a minute. I think Mill Basin is still beautiful. The canals, the boats, the people. Everybody in Mill Basin has a heart. They're good people. They're all Italian, loving people. California to me is tutto americani. Not for me. Not for me. They full of shit. They don't invite you back to their house. I had them here for dinner. They don't invite me back. They have no social graces.
No, they don't. No.
I don't know where the fuck they come from. They come from all over the country, from the hills, and they come to California. When I came here first time we came here was 1949. My father shipped my mother, my sister, and my grandmother and I to California. I don't know why he shipped us out of town, but he did. And it was different back then. Then in the 60s, it was nice. In the 70s, now LA stinks. I would never live in LA anymore.
Oh, it's gotten bad, man. We're hoping that this new guy, Rick Caruso, comes in as mayor and cleans it up, because it's.
Where's he going to put them? Where's he going to put the homeless? Up his ass? I mean, where are you going to put?
Listen, I have a very hard line solution to it. Build more mental institutions, build more drug rehabs, build more prisons. Because to me, it's illegal to sleep on the fucking sidewalk. And
what? Sleep? We were going to Sue Wong's house. Sue Wong's house is selling for $100 million. It's a 1926 estate that belonged to Johnny, everybody, Bela Lugosi, everybody, okay? Up the block from her house, there was a guy with his pants off defecating on the sidewalk. And we were at a traffic light, and I'm sitting in my car. I said, Jimmy, would you believe this guy's taking his shit right on the sidewalk? Right down the road from this $100 million estate up in Las Feliz.
You know what, Ron? I say, absolutely arrest every fucking body on the street, and then triage them. Some of them put in. I got to open up the nut houses again, man. We got to open up the mental institutions again. I'm sorry that Reagan closed them, because we need the nut houses again, and. They either go into a mental rehab or a facility or a drug rehab or prison, because sleeping on the street is just unacceptable.
I agree with that. Look, hang on. I want to ask a question about your background. So first of all, is that you on the door? Is that a picture of you younger?
Yeah, that's not that. Yeah, that was a, let me see if I can pull it up and then shove it in front of the camera. That was on Cannon Drive in Beverly Hills, across the street from Cafe Roma. There was
Cafe Roma. That's where I lost hearing in my left ear.
Really?
Yeah, I was with Mr. Blackwell and a few people at a show there, and the guy had a guitar, electric guitar, and they had the speaker so loud that when he was twanging something, my ear got affected by the speaker. I never did anything about it, but yeah, I lost a lot of hearing from it. Cafe Roma, the owner was a real crackpot.
Yeah. So across the street was this jewelry store called Royal Order, and my friend Cheryl Rickson, she designs, and she's amazing stuff, amazing jewelry. So she had these pictures. She took a picture of me. She took a picture of Andrew Dice Clay, and we were both on the wall. I'll see if I can get this up there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yes. That's you on the left. And Clay in the middle.
Andrew in the middle, and I don't know who the girl is on the right, but yeah. So that's where that picture's from. And that's actually the picture.
The other thing is, look, he's got a flying saucer. It says, "I want to believe."
Oh, you have
Ron
to
loves that shit.
Oh, you have to believe. You have to believe. What do you think?
His favorite show is Ancient Aliens.
I mean, you think we're the only planet that has life? Give me a break.
Now, is that from something? Because isn't that the thing from the X-Files? Yeah, the X-Files. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, they started playing the X-Files on TV late at night, 4 episodes in a row, and I got addicted again. So I just went online. I just bought that like last month.
Oh, I freaking
so wait a minute.
love that.
Are you working now, or you're just bumming?
You know what? No. As a matter of fact, so here's a really great story. My friend Nick Vallelonga, he won the Academy Award for Green Book.
Yep.
Did you see Green Book?
Yes.
It was a fabulous movie. Anyway, and that was about the Culpa, and that was about his dad, who was one of the maitre d's at the Culpa. He was the guy. So anyway, I'm at the celebration party in Beverly Hills. I'm with Frank and everybody, and I run into Diane Warren, the songwriter.
Oh, yeah, you have a song. I just listened to it on YouTube yesterday.
Yeah, so she's brilliant, and I always loved. So I ran into her. I said, you know what? I'd always wanted to do this one song you did, which was the theme song to one of the Star Trek television shows, Enterprise, and I just loved the song. So I was going to come back to New York to do it, because that's where all my guys are in the studio, and I don't have to rent studio time, which is a fortune now. So she liked my voice, and she said, "Hey, man, just come into my studio." She took me into her studio, into
cool.
Diane Warren's studio, paid for the engineer, paid for the studio, everything. And I'm so thrilled, and I'm still flabbergasted, man, that she took me under her wing. And I'm about to do a second song.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations. Yeah. Diane Warren is huge.
The song is called Faith of the Heart. For
all of our listeners, all you have to do is go to YouTube and Google Gary Private, Diane Warren, and it comes up right away, and you can actually see it there. We used to play things, but we're not like YouTube. If we play that YouTube video, they shut us off, so we can't actually do it. So I want to send people there, or send to Spotify too, you guys, because Gary's got a Spotify channel that's got a lot of all his other hits on there. And so, when did you start acting?
I started acting in 2005 when Nick Vallelonga did this movie Stiletto with Tom Berenger and Tom Sizemore and William Forsythe, and he brought me in to play Tom Berenger's bodyguard. So that was a thrill, man. That was a thrill. And then from there, I kind of got the bug, and I'm kind of pissed at myself for not getting into acting earlier, because it kind of I find it, as long as it's in my kind of, as they say, wheelhouse, as long as it's in somebody I know I can play, I find it fun, as long as you put the work in, I find it fun. So I enjoyed acting. And then I went on and I got an Orbit gum commercial where I wrote the music, and I was in a bunch of things, but I would say my most success is in music still, but I'm out there.
Oh no, I like it. I went down your IMDb. You have a bunch of different things, and you're like Ron. You have a look, that a lot of people don't have, and so it kind of like fits because Ron.
Yeah, we look like
Ron's got that. Ron looks like we have a similar look. Yeah. You look
Ron's
great.
Got,
killers.
He's got like 8 movies. He's got 8 movies coming. I also produce films, so he's in some of mine, and he's in some.
Yeah, but I'm
ones.
always listen. I'm so happy. I'm shooting in about 2 weeks a movie, and I play a grandfather. That's why my hair's cut like this. Normally my hair is all different, but I want to.
What are you doing?
I play a grandfather in a movie called Clowny. My grandson has a doll.
Called a horror movie. It's a horror movie.
The doll is called Clowny. Anyway, I can't give the story out. They'll kill me. But I'm glad that I'm not playing, Louis from Brooklyn or Joe from Brooklyn, the killer boy. I always play the wise guy because I have an original Brooklyn accent. I never get rid of my Brooklyn accent. I refuse.
Yeah. It's hard.
No, I don't want to. Fuck them. Or I sound like a California faggot. I don't want to sound like a California fruit. Oh, I shot her beaver. Get the fuck out of here. I'm from New York. He
does the priest, he does the cop, and he does the mobster. This is new for him to play.
I'm from Brooklyn. Brooklyn was around before LA was just an orange patch. Brooklyn was a civilization.
Yeah, welcome to the second largest city in the world. I remember seeing
I love my accent. I love my heredity, and I love my New York, and I miss it so much.
Me too.
I'm not happy out here. I'm here because of Jimmy and his business and whatever. But if I had my way, I'd be right back in New York City with my real people.
How do you like Palm Springs, Ronnie?
I hate it. It's a graveyard.
Well, isn't it? It's crazy hot in the summer.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the least of it all.
Not that bad.
It's just very difficult again to make friends. It's cliquey. It's clannish. Everybody here likes to drink. Jimmy and I don't drink. We're not drinkers. I don't like getting drunk. I never did, even as a kid. Right. So we really don't have anything in common with the people here. We only know celebrity people. Right. Not because we're snobs, but because they're the only ones we get along with, because we have the business in common. But if you're not in our business, they think we're full of shit. We're show-offs, or we think who we are, or we're snobs, which is not true at all. It's their inferiority.
We come to LA once a week at least to go to a red carpet event.
I hang out with all I hang out with the stars. My friends were Lauren Bacall, Betty Davis, Jane Russell.
Wow.
And the list goes on and on and on. And they're gone. They're all gone.
Well, you don't look that much older than me.
Well, I'm 82. I was born 1940.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just last week he turned 82.
I just turned 82. But so I miss all my I miss all my friends. I miss all my people. Lainey is my age. Lainey Kazan. She's the only one.
My mom was crazy about her.
Oh, I'm crazy about her too. She's cool. That's a crazy bitch. I love her. Yeah. Lainey is a riot. Lainey is probably one of the funniest ladies you ever want to know.
And what a voice too. What a voice.
Oh, forget about it. When she sings Body and Soul, nobody sings it like her.
Yeah, she was.
So
Lainey's a good buddy of mine. She's a pal.
I want to ask him some movie questions then, because I like to ask all the actors, and you're a musician, so I'm going to make it a twofold question, which you've already probably done. So here's the two-part question. The first part of the two-part question. Number one, if you could have been in any movie that's ever been made in the world, like in history, what movie would you have liked to been in? And the second half is, if you could play with any, famous rock group, any famous musician group that you haven't already played with, who would you have liked to play with as a musician? So that's your first question, two-parted question.
Wow. Well, I mean, movie. I mean, I hate the sound so guinea. So
it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, of course,
wop it up. Wop it up.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would have loved to have been in The Godfather, but again, I was too. So you mean if I was age appropriate at the time?
Yeah, anything,
I would have loved to have been in The Godfather. I'd love to have been in Scarface. Oh God, Scarface! I would have loved.
That's funny. We have Stephen Bauer coming on the show in a couple weeks.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. And musically, listen, February 7th, 1964, the Beatles landed at JFK, and they changed my fucking life. They changed my life. If the Beatles didn't land in New York City and go on Ed Sullivan and all that, I don't know what I would have been. I was a punk. I was a little troublemaker. I mean, I had no direction, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't major in anything in school, and I was kind of lost until I found music. Yeah, until I found music, which the Beatles were my first injection of, and they changed my life, So, I mean, then moving on and going through my career, if I could play with anybody, I love so many. I mean, Gino Vanelli is one of my favorites.
Oh my God, I love Gino Vanelli. Like that was one of I listened to him when I was studying in college all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I love Gino Vanelli. I mean, I'd love to play with numerous people, even Elvis Costello. I mean, I just love.
Oh my God, I love Elvis Costello.
Yeah, I love a lot of great people. I'm just not into hip hop. I'm just kind of.
I like hip hop too.
And rap is disgusting.
That is hip hop.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, I'm just not into it.
Neither am I.
I love it. I love it all, though.
It's not singing; it's speaking. Get the fuck out of here.
To me, you know what? It's poetry, not music.
What poetry, baby? I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna beat your ass. That's poetry.
I'm being nice.
I'm gonna kill you, bitch.
Is that Godzilla on your shirt?
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Godzilla. Okay.
Johnny Mathis sang "Love."
Oh yeah, Johnny Mathis is famous.
Sure. He sang lyrics of love.
Okay, so the next part of the question is bucket list, male and female. Like you work with any actor, living or dead. Who would you have liked to work with, male and female?
Sean Connery.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Sean Connery, yeah.
I love Sean Connery. Okay, give us a female.
He's the only James Bond. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, the only James Bond, and yeah, I mean, I just absolutely love the guy, man. He's just amazing. Yeah, I would say he would be my number one.
I have an awesome Sean Connery action figure from James Bond. I collect action figures, so
I used to have a quarter, one about yay big.
Yeah, mine's like 12 inches. Okay, so I have like hundreds. I have thousands of action figures.
You should only have 12 inches.
I know. Well, and then okay, so wait. What's the female then? The female that you would like to work with?
Gee. Well, I mean, if we could turn back time, Anne Margaret.
There you go. Okay.
Anne Margaret, I met her for about a second in a hallway, and she was very, very electric. I can't explain. She was like on her toes, smiling and charmed.
Yep.
She just meets people and did that. She was a very lovely lady.
Yeah, I ran into her. Yeah, I ran into her in a drugstore back in 1980. And
vivacious is the word.
Absolutely. I went over. I told her I was in love with her, and I was back then. I was riding a Harley Davidson, and she was very sweet, very, very sweet, very sweet.
Well, my dream girl was Jane Russell, and I got to meet her. Not only meet her, but stay at her house. She stayed at my house. We traveled together. We were best friends until she died. I gave her 80th birthday cake.
Look at the big kitty.
Jane Russell was my buddy and a great gal. Nothing like Hollywood. She was a real McCoy person. You have a wife?
No, I'm single.
Oh, ladies, he's single.
They love him in the chat room.
Whoa.
We have like a lonely hearts here. If we have men, you can drive at night. Oh, okay. That's important. If you can't drive at night, they don't want you.
It's funny you said that. I just went down for a consultation to get LASIX.
Oh, he just had it done during COVID.
Yeah.
The guy told me, I barely need it. But let me ask you a question. How do you like it?
Let's put it this way. If I didn't get contact, if I didn't have the things removed, I would never have passed the driver's test. Now I could see from here to I could see the Statue of Liberty if I look out my window.
And what about reading?
No, I use glasses to read. I don't want to get like my friend of mine spent a fortune, almost $7,000, and she got it where it's far and near, and she hates them. She hates them. She said, I should have got what you got. I only got distance. I don't mind wearing reading glasses. It makes you look good. But I could see from here to Chicago.
They want
like
me
I was 18.
They want me to do one eye reading,
No, you'll get
I'm
nauseous.
afraid of that.
You'll get nauseous. Before I had this done, I was living in New York, and this is a true story.
You have a minute and a half.
I had contact lenses, one far, one near. You know what? I walked into a pole in Bloomingdale's. I did. I absolutely walked into, because I thought the pole was further to the left, and it wasn't. Fuck that shit. Go get regular eye contacts, and you see 18 years old. I
used to love Bloomingdale's. I used to go there. I used to take the train from Brooklyn and get off there at 57th or whatever street. And
59.
Yeah, I used to love going to Bloomingdale's, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
I worked in Bloomingdale's as a teenager and got fired because the lady was saying, this shirt, and I bent down in the glass showcase, and I whispered, lady, make up your mind. She was a store shopper.
Oh,
and she went and squealed on me, the bitch, and I got fired.
So hold on, everybody. This is Gary Private. Follow him on Instagram, GaryPrivate_official. Check out his music. Check out his website, GaryPrivate.com. Check out his new song with Diane Warren. It's on YouTube, and it is called, tell us again.
Faith of the Heart.
Faith of the Heart. And we want to wish you the best in everything. Love to stay in touch.
Thank you,
we come to LA a lot, so if we have any cool events, I'll get you on the invite list.
I'll be in Palm Springs again within a month or two.
Well, call us.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Okay.
All right.
Guys.
If we're not working out of town, you're over. We'll make a nice
I'd love to meet you guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll cook us pasta.
All right, Gary. Thank you so much. We'll
Ciao,
see you on Instagram. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
everybody in the chat room. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Juan, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. We have Tony Moore coming on, you guys, from Cutting Crew. All right. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
See you next week.
Sunlight can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.